Well, hello everybody. I am so sorry being late. I was cooking dinner and I did change it to 10:15, but I'm still late. I did pin a message at the top. I hope you saw it. I hope everybody is doing good. I did some breathing exercise. Oh shit. I did some breathing exercises before I went live. Because you guys, this is so messed up. I can't even begin to tell you how messed up this shit is. Oh. So let me give it a few minutes because I'm not repeating a bunch of stuff, and it's going to be something that you have to kind of pay attention to. So listen in class today. Have y'all seen Killer's post? I just saw it yesterday. No. Why? What is it? I don't see a post. He hasn't posted anything for a month. You mean his videos? Yeah. Fred doesn't take that personally or anything if that is what you're talking about. Yeah. Fred likes it because he likes to see how Andy reacts. And what was funny to that stream, Andy was like, wasn't he like first in the chat or something?
Yeah.
Right after, leaving, completely redirecting, hijacking Tiffany Marie's live yesterday. Then he made his way over to Killers just to make sure, nobody was saying anything bad about him.
The first comment was the clock don't strike him.
He says the clock don't what?
Strike him.
The clock don't strike him. What's that mean?
Or strike me or something. That was his comment.
She made a... Oh, he was talking about Andy? She made a post. Well, guys, we're going to take a journey back in time. You have to think context. We're talking back a good way to know what time or around what time period we're talking about. A good way for me, and is why I remember it so well, because I remember, and if you go back to October of 2022 in my lives, you'll start seeing me start talking about a freaking documentary that I feel some people are doing. And I was talking about Chasing in Them. Later that month, at the end of the month, Jim passed away. And that completely distracted me from what I was looking into at that time, which was what these freaking hoodlums were planning in the background. And also, I was looking into the Lawson stuff at the time because Brandon Lawson, all that stuff was going down around that time. Everything came to a screeching halt when Jim passed away. You can go back to old Fred interviews, and this incident has been talked about before. This is not something that's just magically popped up because of these talks of them being chased and them creeping around in the woods. I've talked about what we thought was somebody trying to rob Fred. We thought it was because of the attention from YouTube, from Don. We thought somebody thought he had drugs there. Well, this all, like, I should have, like, I'm going into this too soon. I should probably take a step back. You guys need to remember back what was going on at that time. And I also felt like a certain person was keeping tabs on me on where I was and stuff and what I was doing. That was part of that group, but that's not part of the group anymore, though. Because it was a mutual friend. At the time I had a feeling, I thought it was weird. And so now it all makes sense. And no wonder they're not wanting to speak about it, because they actually committed fucking crimes while they were out there. Of course they're going to take it to their grave. This is all alleged, I guess. But I think there's a way we could probably get proof of this. And you guys, this is going to be freaking, oh my gosh, people are... I started putting, me and Fred started, we put these things together when we listen to other lives and stuff, and then we think, oh my gosh, guys, I just looked up at my oven right now and it says 111 on the clock, even though it's not 111. But I mean, the clock's wrong, obviously. But it's weird. I just looked up when it said 111 on that. It tells me this is extremely important, what we're talking about, in my opinion. I'm sure we'll get Fred talking here later on the live a little bit. I'm sure he'll chime in a little bit because, for a little bit of context. It's probably good that I didn't go live at 9:45 because I was really mad when I started putting this together in my head. I was like, oh my God, it was fucking them. It was fucking them. We had known from others who they had fallen out from that their plan was to set Fred up when they were out there. I knew that. I've known that for some time, that was their whole plan, was to set Fred up for some odd, weird reason. It's kind of interesting going back into my conversations around that time with certain people in October of 2022, like right along this time. Hey, Pam. Hey, Luminous, Kathy, Rhonda. Hey, everybody coming in. Sorry, I'm going to be on a rant tonight. And this is some crazy fucking shit, dude. So I bet I could pretty much guess who this man they're talking about is. I'm guessing because this man was over at Fred Hill's that evening. And this guy just randomly shows up at Fred's and hadn't been there in like forever. So it was already weird, okay? So Fred thought that he had something to do with it, which was, dun dun dun, Bill Bitten. And yes, the cops know him very well around there, and yes. But are you sure you weren't, was he one of the locals that was like, you guys were, that was helping show you around? Because, I mean, you were breaking bread with the Wells and stuff, and Bill Benton is one of Don Wells' best buddies. And he just randomly shows up at Fred Hill's in November of 2022. And then 30 minutes later, there's these people creeping through the woods. One leaves with probably a serious headache. This was at 10 p.m. at night, guys. Fred could not make out if these people were women or men. Bill Benton took off like a freaking scaredy cat, okay? in his car and everything. So now we're kind of wondering, was that when they were chased? I mean, he's not friends with Bill Bitton, so he would have never really had to, talk to him like after that to be like, oh, hey, did you chase some people, or did you, or Bill wouldn't, they weren't cool like that. Bill Bitton's like a POS, guys. He was going by Fred's to try to buy some stuff. That's what he was trying to do. But it was really odd to Fred because people don't just stop by back there. Like, he usually takes his business outside of there. And I find it very interesting that chasing in her, when I'm listening to her videos over on Tiffany Marie's, she wants to freaking insinuate this person had just came from Fred's and must have been buying something. So that's when this light bulb's going off in my head. It's like, oh my God. Who deleted who? Hold on, let me see. Oh, because of some of the things, like probably Mimi was saying to, or who was it? They were saying some things to probably. So it's okay. They said other things besides just hi. I don't know who they were talking to. Let's be respectful of people in the chat. Like if Tiffany's people were respectful towards me when I was over there for the most part, and like her mods deleted people or asked people to chill out if they got out of line. So if we could just like kind of have the same respect and be adults, kind of set an example. Because this is more important. I mean, well, is it more important though? What's it have to do with summer? I mean, I don't know. It's going to be probably the only time I talk about it, but I'm pretty pissed off. I mean, it's going to come up, I'm sure, again, but I'm not going to sit here and do live after live. But if I find any type of surveillance comes up, and if I find absolute proof that it was them, and it makes sense because they said they were hunting people and they were so focused on Fred. It's absolutely disgusting, guys. They went out there to cause trouble. They went out there looking for fucking trouble. They didn't just randomly get chased by some local. Me and Fred's been chased by a local. Did I freaking call the police on it? That's so dramatic. No, you couldn't put... The reason why you can't put this stuff out here, to me, it sounds like you're doing some kind of production, and some kind of production company is... You're creating all this drama for this fucking stupid-ass show you're probably producing or something. Because, I mean, it wouldn't be too smart, though. That would have to be if you were trespassing, if that was you guys. It was like pitch black out, and these people were creeping around out there on Fred's property about 10 p.m. Bill Bitton had just showed up about 20 minutes ago trying to get some stuff off of Fred, which was already weird because they're not like cool like that. Like it was just weird. He hadn't been there in a month. Fred already has mentioned it to me as odd. And then he mentioned to me how after about 20 minutes of Bill being there, suddenly Fred noticed somebody creeping out in the woods.
Come across from the backside.
And Fred like snuck to see what was going on because he could see the shadows or whatever, right? Bill Benton freaks out, right?
Yeah, after that gunshot, after they
Yeah,
tried to get their
because
car.
they had a gun, by the way, guys. They were whoever these people are came armed, looking for fucking trouble.
That's a bad place to come looking for trouble.
Yeah, you did not have permission to be on that property. You guys got ballsy, you fucking idiots, listening to each other. This is exactly what happens when you have no fucking backbone and you're weak as fuck. And you go along with a group. You make dumbass decisions. Which one of you guys is the one that got Fred said I've even talked about this. He went to hit a home run that night. He said, somebody left with a headache, like a splitter. Who was it? Fred couldn't make out if it was women or men. He said he saw there was like 5 figures.
3 stayed up high and 2 come down low.
Yeah, 2. There was 3 up, like higher, farther away, 2 closer.
And the lead one's one that got it.
And then Fred went as soon as one like kind of got close to Fred, like, and didn't see Fred. Fred was just waiting for him to come close to him, and he took this solid aluminum, 3/4 of an inch thick, 3 foot long pipe, and hit a home run with the person. Made that freaking person's head a fucking baseball. And hit a home run.
That's when they shot when they was trying to hold
and then
the balance,
and then they lost their balance and they shot off their gun.
trying to regain their balance.
And then isn't that when actually Bill
That's when
Benton took
Bill
off?
started
Like
screaming and
Bill
took off.
starts screaming and takes off. So I kind of wonder, did he see you guys and was suspicious because of what just occurred? And yes, Fred did drive down there, but he only went to the end of Ben Hill. That was after Bill left. Fred did drive down to the end of Ben Hill to see what he could see. But Bill had already left.
And the vehicle he was in should have been not from right there.
What do you mean?
Because he was in his boss's truck at night.
Oh, so he was supposedly in his.
So that could have been
Bill Benton was supposedly in a truck. What color truck?
I don't really remember that.
You guys, this is one of Don Wells' like drinking buddy, like big time buddies. Yeah. And it really makes me wonder because a lot of people, Bill Benton is one of the people that Fred told me to talk to, like when I first met him. If I, for information. Like, because he was hanging around the Wells a lot.
Don's want to give him the name Wild Bill.
Yeah. Don nicknamed Bill Benton Wild Bill. So, were you really chased by this guy or was he really trying to help distract Fred for you? Is that what he was doing? Was he distracting Fred for you? Did Don hook you guys up with Bill Benton? Thinking that, Fred wouldn't think anything of it because, Fred knows Bill. This was November of 2022.
And when that Bill left, he would more likely went across the mountain.
When Bill left, he would have went across the mountain.
Yeah, back to where he was staying.
And it's funny, they're like, "Oh, not a local." He's like, it sounds like to me, "Oh, not a local." It sounds like it's somebody like that's currently probably living in Churchill, right, or Kingsport, Sir Gowensville. But they've
The
lived
truck
in
was-
Beach Creek before, haven't they?
The truck was from Cornsville.
You guys are so stupid, you guys. I'm not talking about you guys, but these people, they're so fucking dumb. Like, why would you ever allow some freaking people you don't know off the internet to convince you to do something so fucking stupid? I like, at first when I heard about it, I thought it was just somebody like when Fred told me about it, I thought it was somebody, like, we didn't get into details like this. And now that we're in the same household and get to hear this stuff and talk and conversate together, this is what we're figuring out. And I think people were afraid of that because we're putting shit together. And of course they disappeared for a long time after November of 2022. They were probably scared that they were going to get some kind of charges.
See, I never spoke to Bill after that either. Never seen him since.
Yeah, but he never saw Bill Bitten ever again after that. That happened, and which was strange. It was so strange. It was like, so it's like almost Bill Bitten was there as a way to distract Fred or something. Did you think that? Do you feel like that? Or do you think it was a coincidence?
I don't know what to think at this point, really. But I figured it was just him that had somebody to do it, try to rob me or something. About him.
Yeah, because of all the attention on YouTube about, Dawn making it seem like Fred just had all that, like, was selling all this dope down there and stuff. Jim had just died too, which is absolutely, I feel like they used that opportunity when I was fucking really distracted and stuff, because they were constantly keeping tabs on me. For some fucking, I remember, and I knew some shit was going on. They did not want me a part of it. They did not want me a part of it. They're so afraid. They're competing. I feel like they're trying to compete. It's like, this is not a competition, but you're on the wrong side if that's what you're trying to do, and you're going to lose. Yeah, just like Tiffany Marie said, you might as well take the L now, like all of you. It's going to come out. You're just buying time right now. Just like Andy Bernard being on the road, it's going to come out. Now that we're putting two and two together, it's pretty odd. Fred's never had something like that happen, like, really before, had you? Fred?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had something like that happen before?
Never.
You guys are fucking stupid. You're so fucking stupid. And no law enforcement gave you permission for that. Law enforcement has searched that property over and over and over. I wanted to tell anyone who the man was. At least Ziggy is honest. Thank you, Ziggy and Fred. Next time y'all speak to Ziggy in private, don't do this in chat. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, Luminous. You're good. You're doing good, Luminous. Just do what you think's best. You're fine. I will not, you do what you feel it's fine. And if somebody gets deleted or blocked, I can always unblock them. Okay.
And when I went out that night, I was in the 94 white O's Cutlass.
I think there was just some confusion. It's fine, guys. I really like both you guys. I don't want to see. I try to just.
But if any of the YouTubers is in the Beast Creek community, if somebody does seem like following them, only thing they got to do is pull over and talk to them and let them know exactly who.
I know, exactly. Just like when we got followed.
I know. What did I do?
We pulled over to talk to the person. Well, of course you guys are free. You guys were asking for trouble, purposely trying to cause trouble. You're fucking disgusting, and you're making a circuit. You've made a circus of Summer's case. I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted to have even been associated with the if I find out that a certain one that I went to Fred's with is involved in all this. I want nothing to do with this is gross. Absolutely. You know better. You knew better. You knew better.
Tiffany asked if I recognized any of the voices. None of them spoke. I mean, they all took off running.
What about when you hit them? Did anybody scream or anything?
No, they didn't moan like it about it.
But the only one that screamed was Bill Bitten, right?
Yeah, Bill was the only one that screamed. And for him to be an ex-murderer, you would thought he'd.
I know you do, country girl. I know you do. You've been here since the beginning. You guys are. I love both of you guys. As soon as I saw. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm curious whether Fred could hear if it was female. Yeah, we couldn't tell. It was like 10. You think it was like 10 p.m. at night? You think?
Yeah, it was around 10 or a little later. It wasn't hardly that. I mean, it was before 11.
And this makes sense if you guys go to so this would have been if you go to it would have been my third interview with Fred, because it was the one where it was like my first time back out on YouTube after Jim's passing. I had given myself like 2 months to, I told myself by the first of the year, like I needed to, or was it first of the year or January? January 1st. Yeah, the first year that I needed to pick myself up and get back with get back to life, because the world doesn't stop, and so I kind of like made it my little breakthrough back onto YouTube, because I would sporadically show up on here, but like after Jim passed, like the drama and stuff, it just felt so petty, So, when I came back that trip, Fred, I think, spoke about it in that interview. Not long, didn't talk much about it, but it's brought up. So this is definitely something that there's proof of that he's talked about in the past. It's not just coming up now because of, as a chance for content, Candace, which I'm very bitter about that. Why did whoever wrote that for Candace on her, I'm bitter, like seriously. I'm a bitter Betty here. Putting me, I would love to know what this freaking fake content that I'm supposedly uploading are fake storylines. Can I have an example, please? Or is this your opinion again? There's probably one of them that wrote the post, to be honest. They like kissed Dawn and Candace's ass now, which is so weird. Oh, we're so worried about, this guy was such a bad guy. We had to chase him. We came back to chase him and find out who he was. That's what they did. They came back. Why would you come back? You're asking for trouble. You guys are so full of shit. Why? Because the guy chased you a few miles? Big whoop-de-doo. What are you going to get him arrested for? What would be the charge on that? I mean, because you can't really do harassment because it's really you harassing him. That's just so dramatic and seems like a TV show. I'm serious. It sounds like you're making a TV show. And that's why you guys so bad. You guys don't want this stuff exposed because just like somebody said in Tiffany's chat, these productions can take 20 years sometimes. They'll follow a case from beginning to an end and follow the people throughout every like year or so, an update. And then they'll put out the big finished product. They are so afraid that their little production is going to get effed up. I don't know. It might end up being good once it comes out that Andy was on the road. I mean, you guys will love that. Next thing you're, oh, we were just working behind the scenes. We weren't really cool with Andy. We were just working behind the scenes, trying to get the truth. I could just see them saying that. Hey, Linda Lou. Okay. What next? There's so much. I mean, it's just so coincidental, you know what I mean? No police. Like, Fred didn't call the police. You don't call police and be like, oh, yeah, I'm a drug dealer, and these people, you know, I feel like they were trying to rob me, you know, for drugs or whatever. No, Fred didn't call the police or anything. That's what he thought was happening. Because I made a little frog, like, with some resin. It takes 24 hours, and it didn't work out how I wanted. But anyways, I'm using a like regular resin for that one. You do believe she's alive? Yeah, so I mean, I guess if that happened, if I were them, and I kind of wondered, I always wondered, like, what exactly.
And it had to be a local that was with them too, or walking, for them to know even how to get from where they had parked at to my place, you know.
Yeah,
they come in the backside from David Bays' property. That's where they.
I wonder which freaking local like went with them to who like what was it? Was that Andy? Who's the one that got hit in the head? I'd really like to know. And that's probably why you didn't show back. I mean, of course, you're not gonna come back on YouTube with a freaking busted head. I wonder, did anybody go to the hospital during that whole thing? Because I'd love to know if or if anybody heard of anybody getting hurt during that. But I remember back, and I remember them being so secretive and acting like something so crazy happened that they could never speak about. I remember that. Well, why couldn't you ever speak about this crazy thing that happened that you're taking to your grave. Oh, could it be that you guys were freaking snooping around, trespassing on property that you were not given permission for? And one of you guys got freaking caught.
The only thing they do is just pull up.
And you guys okay. They had a gun on them, guys. Like, what the fuck? What are you guys planning on doing? That is so messed up, you guys. It's not okay. Why does this shit like seem to be okay when it comes to like Ziggy or I mean, I guess I haven't gave it time to see how people will react. Of course, they're going to say it wasn't them. Oh, the Ziggy's crazy. It lines up perfectly with everything that was freaking going on. I remember the shit like yesterday because it was around the worst time in my entire life. So that's how I remember it so well.
I mean, from the time they crossed the property line, they cut the lights off, you see. The flashlights they had.
But you did see him like far off, like coming towards.
Yeah, I seen him come across the property
like he could see people
ridge.
creeping, people coming across the ridge line.
Yeah, with flashlights.
With flashlights, and then 3 stayed up there, and then 2 came down, right? And they turned off their flashlights. Yeah. And Fred was just sitting there and wait to hit a home run.
Because I thought Bill was going to have my back, but he didn't have my back.
Yeah, he thought Bill was going to help him. Bill took off.
And tore his truck all to pieces after doing it, too.
He tore, did he?
Yeah, he ran off the upper end of the tile and stuff, tore his run boards off his truck and stuff, and hit the yellow truck sitting at the bottom of the driveway and knocked it over in Ed Redmond's field.
Oh, so there was even a car crash and everything? Mm-hmm. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, sounds like some good TV, don't you think? Were they coming in from the backside of your property? Is that where? Or?
Yeah, they had parked at David Bays' property and went behind his place.
David Bays' property, guys, is right over there where the bones were found. It's one of the next properties up.
And it had to be a local with them to show them how to get across that ridge right there. Exactly what saddle of the ridge to come across into my property.
Mm-hmm. What happened to the person hit? Did they leave walking, driving? When you hit them, what happened?
Well, I was talking about with that bill here.
No. Oh, well, the car. No, I'm talking about when you hit him with the aluminum pipe.
Oh, they took back off, got up and run back up the hill, across the ridge, went back to David Bays', and I'm assuming that's where they all went because that's where the vehicle left from. Because I walked all the way across there trying to get up with them. You
were trying to catch up with them?
Mm-hmm.
And you saw them take off in a car? Yeah, did you get a catch?
What kind of vehicle?
You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell.
Because I walked back up there.
You couldn't tell if it was like a car or truck or anything? SUV?
No, it's dark as hell in that holler. You can't really tell at night what they're in.
Yeah, you guys are fucking dumbasses.
But when
you're all felons now, just like Bill Bitton. You're going to be in the felon club.
But when I walked back up the holler from David Bays', once I got across to there and got back in the main road and walked up, Bill was still hung up on the yellow Frontier of mine that he knocked across the road. He was still hung up on it trying to get loose.
So they caused a huge crash, a huge commotion, whoever these people were. Of course they're going to be scared and not want to talk. I mean, they're freaking. I remember it was like, oh, we're never going to talk. We're going to take it to our grave. Why? Because you committed like 10 felonies that night?
Because once Bill got unhooked and stuff from the truck that he knocked across the road, he left out. So I don't know who he seen when he went out or whatnot.
Yeah, did Bill, I mean, were you guys chased by Bill Bitten possibly? Like, he may have saw you, he may have saw some people leaving and wondered if that was, and wanted to see who it was that, you know, was doing that shit. Fred never saw Bill Bitten again after that.
Well, I didn't see him till the day.
We don't know. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, was that a set? Like, was Bill Bitten with them? And was he some kind of like decoy?
Yeah, I don't know if he was part of it or what.
Because there's only one person that could really get Bill Bitten to probably talk, and that would probably be Don Wells. If you're going to go to somebody, and guess what? They're best buddies now with Don Wells.
But after that, when something about Bill had showed up at Don's and a bunch of them jumped on him up there for some reason, I don't know.
Oh yeah, soon after that, there was some kind of big big huge fight with Bill Bitten up over on 110. So supposedly the cops were called even. So it'd be interesting to see if like what would have been December of 2022 about when maybe if it was right after that incident. Yeah, supposedly like soon after that there was some kind of some kind of an incident between Bill Bitten and Don Wells up on 110.
Several of them.
And it was several of them. So it'd be interesting, guys. The several of them. Could the cops have been called on them? Oh, did you guys go meet back up at 110 after it? Oh my God. No wonder you guys are so freaking best buddies with these fucking criminals. Wow. You have a lot of fucking room to fucking talk. Yeah, when the person lost their footing, they shot a gun off. Can you guys fucking imagine if somebody would have got hit with a fucking gun that night? With their dumbasses going in there, trying to play fucking, I'm going to use fucking Jody Sue's word, Scooby-Doo. It pisses me off so bad. Somebody could have got killed.
That's how people do get killed.
We could probably file, see if it was them, if they were there, if during that incident that the police were called when Bill Bitten was up there. Wow, you guys are freaking real pieces of shit. Oh my God, dude.
I mean, the locals know if they got a problem and need to talk to me or whatever, that I'm going to face them, no matter what the situation's going to be.
Yeah, locals there know better than to do that, so that's really weird. But Bill, Bill might have. I mean, I could see somebody like him, like being a decoy like that, maybe, and for Don being like, because you remember, oh, who wouldn't try to set that? Remember Don Wells, who wouldn't try to set that motherfucker up? Is that the incident? Is that the same incident? Because remember, guys, I know for a fact that their plan was to try to set Fred up. Wow, that really seems like you guys are trying to get justice for Summer Wells. Sounds like a Summer Wells search to me, right? No wonder you didn't want any drone or anything. You're going to just go play pretend like Ryan finds fucking nothing. Oh, let's just go play pretend. See, you guys, this is why you don't ever go along with the crowd. Because, no, I'd rather just freaking be a loner and stick to what I know is right and not let people fucking influence that. I could just fucking see what these dumbasses coming up with this fucking plan. They did go the intentions to cause problems. They absolutely did. The boxer, the search dog, his name was Scooby. And if they would have found something, it would have had been admissible in court if it was probably. What time were they there? It was 10 p.m. at night when this incident happened. It was dark. And when it's dark out there, guys, I have video I could show you guys sometime when, well, you guys see it. I uploaded my walk on Ben Hope Road. And most of the walk, it was like pitch black, unfortunately. It's really dark on the road. There's no lights. You're out in the country. It's actually really peaceful out there. You have these idiots putting a stain on the community. Being BFF with Dawn and Candace, thinking it's like the greatest idea just because they want to be famous or want attention. It's going to come out there. It's just like Andy. Like this, I don't understand that. I mean, I guess if you had if you, let's say, had prison, you were facing a long time in prison, I guess you would try to buy time. But what's weird to me is them lying about all this, like this whole production that was planned, because it's going to come out. But, you know, the thing is, they're thinking, oh, well, it's not going to come out for a few years from now or something, you know, because they're going to, my guess is that they would want Summer to be found. That would be the perfect ending to a documentary, right? So they're going to follow the case from beginning to end. I mean, have you guys watched these documentaries? That's what they do. They over time, and then they put together this whole production. They don't want their fucking their chance to be famous ruined. Because it sure as hell is not for Summer Wells. If you're out there purposely trying to cause problems. And I don't care if you say that was not you out there, you guys still were out there looking for trouble. And you pretty much, you admitted that yourself. I don't care how, I mean, you didn't straight up say those words, but you admitted it yourself when you said you came back weeks later to find the guy. Why? Oh, you remember his vehicle was real distinct, was real unique. Oh, could that be because he wrecked his fucking vehicle and the railing with the steps, the side steps, fucking broke off and he like freaking tore up his vehicle trying to get away that day when the gun went off? Is that why it was so unique? We should, if we could find the exact date, be real. I don't know, unfortunately, we can't even check like Broadcastify or anything because after Summer Wells' disappearance, they stopped like uploading really service calls to Broadcastify and stuff like that. But you could look through those, like if you know about a time period, and about a time, you just look at around that time period around, it'd be looking like for a needle in a haystack though, if you didn't have certain types of variables. But I think that there's definitely proof that this stuff can come. I mean, there's proof out there. This stuff's all going to come out. People always fall apart. Just watch on YouTube and stuff. People, like when you group up and you join part of a group, they always fall apart. Always on YouTube. Always, every time. It never fails because it's always like, it's always, the agreement is, we're going to split the money, and money, of course, is always going to cause problems when money is involved. It causes fights. Or there's disagreements, clashes of ego, all that stuff. When you get groups of people, eventually one of them's going to get pissed off, really mad at the other.
The truth always comes to light.
Yeah, it's going to come out. Tiffany said, I'm really sorry they impeded on your life and came onto your property like that. They have no right, none at all. They have crossed the line so many times. I worry what they will do next.
I mean, people like that play with danger.
Oh, I know. Trevor's is friends with them. He's made it really freaking known to me for some weird reason. He's following me around everywhere. So it shows me that he's part of this whole thing. And just talking, just to say horrible things and call Fred a prime suspect. It's like, who made you God? Like, when do you get to decide who's suspect and who's not?
But most likely, if they did make a report weeks later, Hawkins County most likely didn't follow up with nothing. I mean, that's not Hawkins County. Usually don't follow up like that.
Why?
Hawkins County's motto is just call them after the mess is over and they'll clean it up.
Yeah, I never have said a bad thing about him. I don't understand. I'm talking about Trevor. I don't understand why he has to be so hateful. He does not seem like a Christian to me. I'm just, disappointed, of course. But it's not the first time I've been disappointed, obviously. And completely read somebody wrong. Usually, though, I find it out pretty quickly. Let me pull up my chat on my phone because like I said, we have to say that this is all alleged because I don't have absolute proof. It's all what are they called? Coincidental, or what's it called? It's all, I forget the word, but I'm sure there is absolute proof out there.
Maybe we need to try to get a hold of Bill Benton.
I know. Well, I've already tried to get a hold of him though. But what if he was with them though? What if he'd
be interested in hearing his side though.
Yeah. If that's who it was. If that's who it was that they're talking about. It's just, that's what we're wondering if it was because of the fact that he just happened to be there when this incident happened.
8 miles that they're talking about and stuff, that's about how far he would have went across and made a different turn to go to his place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're going across toward Churchill.
Yeah. Fred came out here and he was like, they're talking about, Bill Benton. I've tried to talk to that guy or tried to get a hold of him. He is not. And yes, law enforcement know of him.
Yeah, he's an informant.
But So Don Wells is not a good person either, but it's okay for you guys to be buddies with him. But you have zero type of evidence against Fred of being this person that you want to paint him as. And he's just the most horrible guy. But Don Wells, he's fine. He's okay. The man that talks about 12-year-old bodies having a body from hell.
I mean, most incidences that happen down in the Beef Creek community is from people showing up on other people's property and stuff and looking for trouble.
That's what they were doing. They were looking for trouble. They couldn't, I tried to tell Jenny, I tried to tell her, I'm like, listen, Andy was on the road. I've tried to talk to her before that time. I've tried to talk to these people, especially Jenny. And she just is very egotistical, prideful. And so is Chasey. They better help if we find they either better come on here and apologize. Tell everybody the freaking truth, or if we find evidence that it was you guys or proof, I will encourage Fred to press charges. Do the right thing and tell the truth.
They won't come out and tell the truth.
I know they
Because
will.
it incriminates herself more.
Such a stupid idea. Hey, Mama T. Oh, no. I don't think that, Paula. I don't think that Trevor was one of the people. I don't believe that, no. I don't think that, but he could be part of the project. But I will hope to God not. Gosh. I do, though, believe it was associated with their trip there. Who was the two that walked down there? Who would have been the two ballsy ones to walk closer? The three that stayed back. Who were the two that walked close? That were, sneaking around? Who would have been the ballsier of them all? I wonder who it could have been.
Could have been the local. Well, it had to be a local with them that know the area. Most likely he would have been leading.
Yeah. I wonder if you don't think Brandon Clark freaking did something stupid like that, do you?
Brandon won't do nothing like that.
Because they would have saw him on JLR and thought, oh, we'll just get a hold of Brandon or something.
Because actually, I went to Brandon Clark's after that night. Later at night to see if anybody had a headache. That was one of the first places I went because it's right on the back side, you see.
And the fact that it never got around, things travel around that community. So it shows that it had to have been people from out of town and maybe one local or something.
Most likely.
And the person's not speaking because it incriminates himself.
Mm-hmm. Because I sit and listen for something to come out, about it. Because usually down in there, if anybody does some little something, they gotta brag about it to somebody, and then it'll get back to you. Just sit long enough, it'll get back to you.
Yeah. He was thinking it would get back to him eventually, he would figure out who it was, because you're going to hear through the grapevine out there in the community who robbed you in the drug scene. but it just never came around till now, and it makes sense because it wasn't anybody from around there. It was these dumbasses and maybe one local. And a gun went off when the guy, I mean, I can't get over that. The gun went off when this person was hit by Fred. Somebody could have got killed. You guys are fucking so stupid.
That tells me it was already in their hand. Not holstered or nothing. It was already in their hand.
Gavel keeps this a know-it-all and it's annoying. Freaking most annoying thing I've ever. She is so annoying. I tried, like.
But see, there wasn't no showcasing shut found because more likely it was a revolver.
So you think it was a revolver because there was no shell casings? What kind of gun did Adrian bring? I hear she brought a gun. Heard through the grapevine they were packing. So that fits. Chasing wants sympathy. She's trying to manipulate on her community tab. Okay. Well, imagine that. Like that's what they always do. She's gonna say it wasn't them. No matter what, that's what they're gonna say. But sorry, I'm eating a Twizzler. But it sure lines up. And once we heard your guys' goal of setting Fred up, that just freaking makes so much sense. Now, what does that have to do with Summer? Okay? Even if that wasn't you, if that wasn't you on his property, what does it have to do with Summer setting Fred up? That whole plan? Because I know that's true for a fact. So how does that have? What does that have to do with Summer Wells? Nana for Life and Adrian.
And it makes you wonder.
Yeah, and then Nana for Life talks shit about Fred for some reason all the time. And now, and so do these people, and it like makes sense. It's like, hello, if you guys were hit in the head by Fred for trespassing on his property, sneaking around there, that's kind of your own dumbass fault.
Lucky it didn't happen worse.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's no wonder they got so scared and said something really bad happened, you guys. You remember that? Because just imagine how scared they were that somebody was going to be coming after them. But yet here they come back to trouble though. That it just, I don't know.
I mean, Andy's admitted that.
Thank you so much for the PayPal, the person who sent they want to be anonymous, but thank you so much. Where's my internet? Oh. Okay. They were both locked and loaded while they were out looking for trouble. That was just so dumb. Purposely out looking for trouble with guns and a machete. So we hear too. And it makes so perfect sense. Like, oh, we're going to take it to her grave. You guys disappeared for freaking ever. Probably so scared that something, oh no, it's going to get out. Well, here we are. It finally is out. This is a scandal. This is seriously, we need to name this. I don't know. Something gate, because this is a scandal. Because it has freaking nothing to do with Summer Wells and everything to do with their egos. Benny sent the money to Adrian's Cash App to give to Andy, and everyone knows it. Yeah, and that was freaking so dirty. That shit pissed me off so bad. Because, and I don't care. You know, people will be like, oh, I didn't think you liked that person. You didn't like Benny or whatever. That doesn't matter. I don't care who it could be. I don't know. It doesn't matter who the person was. The victim. It's the truth is the truth. It's if something's wrong, it's wrong. It doesn't change depending on the person who is the victim. Gavel is all worked up. I guess she thinks she can get away with Benny not around. I'm sure Benny gets word from people of things. He's allowed to talk on the phone. Benny doing that, he thought he trust his friend. I don't know if I want to go look at this post because it's just going to really raise my blood pressure. I'll probably have to just wait to check out these things to, calm down and slowly, because all they're going to do is deny it. They're going to deny it no matter what. Okay. We know that, obviously. Just like Andy, the only way to get people to actually prove it is absolute proof. Footage of Ben Hill Road, June 15th. I'm sure that will eventually come out. What's Andy going to say then? I can't wait. I cannot freaking wait. I cannot wait. More so for the reactions of these freaking weirdos. You cannot trust a weirdo like Jenny who has freaking blue hair like that and never change it. It's like, why? It's weird. I mean, you change it up ever? It's going to be bright blue, Smurf blue the rest of your life? Maybe do some purple sometimes. Why the Smurf blue all the time? God. You just annoy me. Oh, I don't care about being shut out of a documentary. I already knew that was what was happening a long time ago. I could tell by their secrecy. and just how everything happened. I could tell that I was the one that was being excluded because of what Fred had said about Andy being on the road, and they had kind of buddied up with Andy. Gavel has been saying the same thing for 2 years, that Andy was going to let them on for free and they didn't have to pay. So I guess they were going to pocket Benny's money then. The fact that they all defend a woman beater is enough for me. No need to say anymore. Andy beat JC, but everyone is all good with that. Yeah, and he admitted it. But that's okay. That's okay. But, Fred's the worst person ever because he sold drugs. And he's forever, condemned. And these people, they try to paint Fred in a weird, they try to paint him as insinuate weird sexual things with Fred. And it's so wrong. Just like that one time when I was on camera and I accidentally panned my camera and it got my daughter and she was wearing a sports bra, but you couldn't, you would have to absolutely, it was so fast, you would have to pause at the exact right spot to be able to, and even then when I looked, it was so blurry, you can't make anything out. And she had it was just an Under Armour sports bra and, some pajama pants. And she wasn't trying, I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. But of course, these people had something to say. Adrian sure had something to say. I hear she made a big, lengthy post about it. About my daughter being in a sports bra in her home. Oh, and Fred's under the same roof. The way that they were trying to, make that seem is so wrong. And creepy. But yeah, it's okay. You put these weird revealing pictures of your own daughter up on your community wall, an underage daughter in a very exposing outfit, like you're real proud on your wall, on your community wall. And who knows what kind of, put it out there for any weirdo and whoever to look at. That's okay. And you intentionally did that. That's what I mean. These people are fucking hypocrites. Far worse than the people that they talk shit about. And then they try to act like, oh, we're the smartest. We're the moral authority. Who lives on Beach Creek had spoke out early November 20. Wonder if he could be the local with them. He spoke about his wife seeing a vehicle on 15th or something. That's interesting because Fred's wondered about that guy too. That Jeremy Powell. That's came up Fred's had a few questions about that guy. Yeah, I'm freaking mad. It's wrong and intrusive. And I'm tired of these people going fucking real life and and trying to encourage people to go. Why? I don't understand. What did Fred do to you that you want to set him up? How are you going to feel when it comes out that Fred was telling the truth about Andy, that Andy was on the road? I just cannot wait to see what they're going to say. I just cannot fucking wait. Adrian posted extremely provocative photos of her daughter right after what she said about yours. I won't go into detail because to explain them would be inappropriate. Oh, this guy that was following us was a really dangerous guy.
See, Johnny Powell spoke of a dark colored truck coming out, a small dark colored truck coming out of Ben Hill and almost hitting Stephanie on the evening of the 15th. Was that the blue truck that was dark colored truck that followed Andy out?
Uh-huh.
He
Well,
spoke about
Andy's
it on the live.
Yeah, well,
Andy's
Andy's, I don't know. Andy has the answers. Andy Bernard holds some answers, in my opinion. Oh my. And if I were Ziggy, I would feel real creeped out knowing that Jenny tried to get Jody Sue's daughter to live with her and be her. Yeah. That was creepy. I guess, I don't know. I guess the cocaine has fried her brain or something. Sorry, guys, for the background noise. It's too bad because, seriously, at one time, like, I really liked Jenny. You know? I thought she seemed like a nice person. The very first time I saw the type of person she was when Benny invited me on his panel and she was up there. And oh my God, she was such a know-it-all. It was so annoying. I couldn't even speak without her freaking contradicting everything I fucking said. Like, trying to act like, oh, nope, that's not true. Actually, this is what's true. It's like, bitch, you are not fucking, like, Albert Einstein. Like, what the fuck? That's exactly the day my opinion of her changed. I was like, wow, she's really argumentative. She's really prideful. She's really a know-it-all, isn't she? With Jenny talking about, oh, yeah. 6 Up being a documentary. Oh. Hey, that's the kind of, I mean, it would be right. She would fit right in. It sounds like. It does to seem she does. She is like, and instead of being like, she'll straight up say it too. She'll be like, "Oh, that's not true." She'll say it like that, as if she's like what she's saying is absolute fact, and it will be something that's kind of like a theory or something, and she'll call it. I don't know. She just discredits. She has an idea in her head how something's gonna be, and she's extremely hard-headed. She is very hard-headed to, like, she's one of those that would not, it's hard. These people freaking back out now. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, really? Because I've heard Jenny talk a lot of shit about money sent to me for people, for the calls that people wanted to hear of Fred, the jail calls. Oh, that's just some kind of grift that people were helping pay for that. But they sure as I bet she sure as hell listened to them, didn't she? I bet she listened to the calls. you get help from somebody, that's okay. It does, you know, I get help or somebody does something for me, it's somehow a grift. I just read a community post that Crama wrote, missive. She lists ammo, lists things she claims are lies. Who has all these people lying on them? A bunch of people don't lie like that. They do have a lot of nerve. And I think this is hilarious that everything's coming out and crashing down on them. Because they had so many chances, guys, to do the right thing. And it's been 2 years. Over 2 years since they started this whole mission on this documentary. So they went there fully prepared to cause some bullshit. And particularly with Fred Hill. Oh, we're going to set Fred Hill up. Because that's, you know, somehow going to find Summer. Mm-hmm. Pretty sweet pea, yep. Hey, Scout. It gets me so freaking mad. Oh, how they freaking what they did to Jody Sue was so fucking insane, guys. And I don't like Jody Sue. I think she's a liar. I don't think she's the best a person either. But what they did is they were completely the ones in the wrong in that situation. And I've always said that. And I'll always continue to say that. Because that's the truth. They went way, way over the line, just like they've gone way, way over the line here in their mission to freaking make Fred Hill look a certain way and to freaking cover for Andy Bernard. They are obviously a bunch of idiots. Nobody has a brain. None of them are saying, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that. No wonder you guys didn't want Benny going and certain other ones to join in too. Because you guys had your little criminal group already freaking arranged. You can't bring any outsiders. I don't know why my computer screen went like that, but it's whatever. It just like really, really gets me going. I was, if you guys, Tiffany had good lives yesterday and today, and it just like me and Fred would listen together and we'd talk about things and it would bring up things. And then it's just, that's what's happening. And that's when we realized like, oh my God, like November of 2022, you know, when was that incident that happened with you, you know? And we started talking about it, and it's like, oh my God. Are they talking about Fred and Bill Benton? I mean, it makes sense because they were so focused on Fred for some reason. And setting him up. Here, let me go wash my hands. Like, I got this resin on my hands. It's like, it's eating a Twizzler. It makes your tongue numb. Dang, why did I don't know why it covered my hands. I don't remember. Oh, Fred's so bad, but yet we're gonna go commit crimes just to freaking. What were you guys looking for? I just would love to know whose bright idea. I thought it feels like it was Ginny's bright idea because I heard it was her bright idea to like set him up. So, and the other's just like, okay, whatever you say. They did. They lost their minds over that. They did. It was unreal. It just got out of hand. Just like this has got out of hand. And their dislike for Fred, or their freaking desire to be right, to be the heroes. They want to be looked at like some kind of hero. If it comes out, they think it's going to all fall apart if it comes out that Andy was on the road. But wouldn't that be great TV, though? That would make for really great TV. So I don't know. I know. Good. Bill Benton is a guy that he's what who Don nicknamed Wild Bill. He's the one that was called the drunk. That people, some people think that. Well, Fred thinks that possibly he could be the drunk that people that there was that rumored to have been sleeping with Grandis. You guys remember that whole thing? Billy the drunk or whatever. The drunk, Billy. Bill Benton is a buddy of Don Wells. Him and Vicky Dykes. I don't think they're together though anymore. We're hanging around Don and Candace all the time around the time that Summer Wells went missing. And they were hanging out with them afterwards too. I do know Bill Benton was because, like I said, like Fred said, he heard there was some kind of incident up at the Wells and the police were called. And it had to do with Bill Benton and Don Wells, allegedly. Wouldn't it be interesting to get those freaking police reports and see if some of these characters...
And stayed in the bottom shed for a while.
He stayed in the bottom shed, too?
Bill did. When him and Vicky would get into it, he would go and stay in the bottom shed. So.
When him and his wife would get into it, he would go stay at that shed. No, that's a different Bill. Curiosity, they both go by Wild Bill. I know it's confusing. It always confused me. The one that you're talking about, Curiosity, is Bill Shipley. That's Bill Shipley, who was the one that was married to the Kelly girl that I had on here, who ended up getting back with him and now turned on me for some weird reason. I think because she wanted to put it on me, like blame it on me, to Bill about her being on YouTube and stuff. That's the only thing I can think of. Yep, Linda Lou was Don in jail in November of 2022.
I think he may have went to jail the first one. I think what I remember seeing somewhere, 1st of November, first DUI. I'm wanting to say,
Oh,
I might be wrong. It seemed like
November.
I seen
Is it
something about
November 1st?
Well, baby.
Huh. So, I don't know what else more to say about it. I think I've said what all I can say, really. I mean, if that was them, it will come out. And if there is proof, I will definitely encourage Fred to prosecute, because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Your guys' whole plans, when you were supposed to be searching for Summer, trying to make it was something good for Summer Wells, while you were down in Tennessee committing fucking felonies. The fact that you had a firearm with you when you did that, do you understand that raises the level of the crime? You guys are really not very smart. Biddy sent $379 to Adrian for Andy. I just went to his Cash App. I'm posting it right now to my community tab. Why on him? Think I won't handle this shit. So Tiffany's posting proof that he sent that money. I know he sent that money. I remember that proof's been out there. I'm pretty sure, but of course, the people that lie and try to cause confusion and change reality, I guess we have to remind people of the truth every so often. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I don't think I have much more to say about the situation. It's midnight, and I stayed to listen to Tiffany's whole live just like yesterday, which is rare. That's very rare for me to listen to somebody's whole live like that and stuff. So I was definitely really interested. I don't have absolute proof it was them. It's just very freaking coincidental, if you ask me. It's gonna be very interesting to see how they act the next couple days, and what kind of things that they come up with, what kind of shit talking they're gonna do, and how they're gonna deflect to something that I've done in my past or something. They'll just probably disappear from freaking YouTube completely once the truth comes out. It's my guess. As long as they get to be the stars in the documentary, I don't think they care. Yeah, that would be a good thing. Curiosity to see what was going on around that time. I'm gonna check my messages with certain people around that time and certain other ones that I think are involved around that time. Because I truly feel that there was a couple of people that was trying to keep tabs on what I was doing at that time. But see, I was so upset over Jim's death. See, it was like I wasn't even paying attention to YouTube drama at that time. It was like,
I mean, Andy admitted that Benny had given him the $300.
oh yeah, Andy did admit about the 300. Andy admitted it about
Yeah.
Benny giving him the money straight
The
up.
300. That was on Matthew's channel. He admitted that.
Yep. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll talk later.